Nice tie. That's all. Let's head back to Dallas for our big story. Cowboys, 2-7, and a lot of eyes are on Ezekiel Elliott. Zeke is tied for the second highest average salary among running backs, but it's not showing up in his stats. He's on pace for the fewest rushing yards in his career, and he hasn't had a 100-yard game this season. LeVar is back with us. But Acho, has time run out on Zeke with the Cowboys?
That's the easiest question you gonna ask me all. Ding! Time is up. The reason time is up is like, my guy has gotten worse each year for the last 5 years. Typically when we say that, that's hyperbole. Oh, they're getting worse each and every time they get... Ezekiel Elliott has literally gotten worse every year for the last 5 years, but he's really fallen off the cliff since he signed the deal. Now, this might sound hot take-ish. How can you say time is up? Zeke just signed a $90 million deal a year and a half or 2 years ago. Let me draw a parallel for you all. Zeke was drafted in 2016, first round. Todd Gurley was drafted in 2015. First round. At the same age of 25 years old, Todd Gurley, after he signed a big deal, he got let loose by the Rams. Ezekiel Elliott, it also looks like he is on that similar parallel, that similar trajectory. Zeke has regressed in a terrible way. Think about this also, fellas. This was when they needed you most, Zeke. Like, when the going gets tough, they say the tougher is supposed to get going. Big-time players make big-time plays, and big-time... I can give you any single football cliche that tells you Zeke is supposed to start balling right now, specifically when Dak got hurt. But when Dak got hurt, Zeke got worse. Zeke has the 6th most touches, most carries in the NFL, but is 11th in rushing yards. Of all running backs who meet the criteria, he's 32nd, I believe, in yards per attempt. It doesn't make sense to believe that time has not expired on Zeke. I have been waiting all season for Zeke to turn the corner. I've been waiting for Zeke to turn the corner. I said that the Cowboys would be better as a team after Dak got hurt because I believed in Zeke that much, and still was let down. I'm not even sure if Zeke's the best running back currently on the Cowboys roster. I do think the time is up on Zeke.
Oh, I'm certain he's not the best running back on the roster. It's Tony Pollard. We all know that. Yeah, time's run out in terms of how you're going to perceive who Ezekiel Elliott is. Remember Ezekiel Elliott, 2016, 4th overall pick, franchise player, like their marketing piece. When you look at the Cowboys, a lot of people think of the quarterback and Dak Prescott. A lot of that's just because of his contract conversation. But in reality, Ezekiel Elliott was the one because they were thinking when they first drafted Zeke, oh, okay, we're going to have Romo and Zeke. Uh-oh, we're going to start getting our little 3-piece again like we did in the great Cowboy years. And that didn't come to fruition. Dak Prescott obviously took over for Tony Romo, and Zeke hit the ground running. But as Acho pointed out, time's up, big dog. They look for you when you're that productive early in your career. They reward you with the money. They look for that production level to not only stand pat or increase, enhance, because now you have the money and now you know you have our support and all of our investment in you. What has Zeke done since he got the money? Regress. And you look at a situation now where Ezekiel Elliott finds himself, where's the leadership? We don't have our QB1. We don't have our QB2. We don't even have a QB3, but Zeke, we have you. I know the offensive line is in shambles. It is not living up to its name because of injuries. I understand we have a potent wide receiver core, but we don't have the quarterback right now. So what we need is something dependable. What they don't have is Ezekiel Elliott being dependable. So I got to throw up this full screen that just highlights how bad Ezekiel Elliott's been year by year. He started off fast. You almost got to start at the bottom of this one to see the greatness, because if you see it right now at the top level, regression to the fullest definition. So Zeke, hate to say it, big dog, but the way that they thought of you and the way that they will think of you has drastically changed.
I got to disagree with both of you guys. And let me first start off by addressing the Todd Gurley comparison. It's not comparable because Todd Gurley didn't show durability physically. And I think that it opened up the conversations after he got his contract as to how they were going to handle the situation going forward with Todd Gurley. And he was clearly phased out of being a part of that offense long before they chose to let him go. To address the idea that Zeke has regressed and has become worse by the numbers is true. but it's also misleading and it's mistelling because this team has regressed as well. Now, I don't have no full screen stats to pull up about how the team has underachieved.
That's on you.
I'm not a host. I'm just here being an analyst. So I don't have very much time to do all those things. But with that being said, this team has regressed. And when you look at the success that he had early on in his career, it was clear that you had to shift your attention to stopping one aspect of the Dallas Cowboys offense, which was their running attack. Make them win the game in the air. We have not seen them be able to do that, even though we've seen Zeke had successful seasons. Because of how large his dead cap space is at 13.7, he gets another year. I don't think his time has run out yet. He gets another year.
Come on, LA. Now, look. You can't make your argument the fact that the Cowboys have regressed, and as a result, Zeke has regressed, because now we got to play that old age question of what came first, the chicken or the egg. What regression caused what regression? I would submit that Zeke's regression has caused in large part, the Cowboys' regression. LeVar, sometimes when you're a statistician, as I like to think of myself, as I'm a stat guy, I like numbers, LA, because numbers can back up a point. Sometimes you see numbers that make your jaw hit the ground. And I was looking today, LeVar, of the top 20 players in the NFL leading the NFL in fumbles, the list of the top 20 fumble leaders in the NFL. 18 are quarterbacks. 1 is a center for the Baltimore Ravens, and 1 is Ezekiel Elliott. 18 are quarterbacks, then there's a center, and then there is Zeke in the top 20. Mind you, Zeke is at 6. Zeke's not like 19 or 20. He's right there at 6. So if you're going to talk to me about the Cowboys' collective regression, then you have to talk to me about Zeke leading the charge for this collective regression by the Cowboys as well.
Yeah, no, I don't think he's leading the charge. Actually, I think that the injuries are leading the charge, and I think that us not knowing if Dak Prescott could be that franchise quarterback in regular game moments, not in garbage time moments, as to what this team was going to look like. And I think that that's the catalyst of all of this. Listen, I don't know how good you've been in your career, Acho. I know, Marcellus, at one point in time, you said in New York you were the guy. So let's just think back to when you were in Columbia, or even at your Pro Bowl years in the league. If there wasn't somebody else on that defense that was commanding the attention of what was going on, you were going to get a tackle fanning. You were going to get a guard waiting. And, for your troubles, you're going to have a running back waiting to chip you. And back in our day, it's possible that an actual fullback could have been in the backfield, and they were waiting for you as well. I have been in positions where I have been blocked by 4 dudes in one singular play. So the point that I'm making is that if you don't have the ability to take that attention and take that bullseye and make it a much smaller bullseye on your franchise guy, then you have to be looking at the fact that this team is not performing at a high enough level to actually give Ezekiel Elliott that fair opportunity to thrive as the running back for this team currently.
Yeah, but that...